What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? What's good on the internet? What's good in life? What's good in sports? The name's Akeem Balaam, and as you could probably see, I am not exactly in my living room where I typically record most of my videos. I am actually coming to you live from the streets of downtown Phoenix, Arizona, which just so happened to be the host city for 2024 WNBA All-Star. And the whole weekend was an absolute vibe and then some. I mean, you know, I feel like it may have been, for all I know, it may have been probably, I've had the opportunity to cover 4 All-Star games. And this one may very well have taken the cake. Yeah, Minnesota was okay. I went to that one in 2018. Yeah, I had the opportunity to go to Chicago in 2022, as well as Las Vegas in 2023. But I feel like this one in Phoenix may very well have taken the cake. And I think a big part of the reason as to why it may very well have taken the cake was because of the fact that the game was so competitive, but it resulted in a 117-109 victory for Team USA over for Team WNBA rather, over Team USA. Arike Ogunbowale came away with the MVP with 34 points, a new single game record for scoring in an All-Star. And if I remember correctly, 2 things about that. First of all, in both years that they have done the Team USA versus Team WNBA format, Arike Ogunbowale of the Dallas Wings has come away with the MVP on both occasions. Both occasions, she's come away with MVP when they've done USA WNBA. And I had the opportunity to ask her about that, and she had a little bit of an interesting response.
I was saying before, just they're getting ready to play and they want to win, so we're not going to get embarrassed as well. They have plays, they've been practicing, so we just want to come out hard. And I love competition. You know, if I hear somebody's trying to beat me, I'm going to try to beat them, you know, twice as hard. So that's, you know, usually what happens when we play USA.
She had a great game. We'll see how that possibly translates into maybe some momentum for the Dallas Wings, who have definitely been struggling throughout the first half of the season, as we're definitely getting a lot of Arizona wind. But you know what? I don't mind the wind, because maybe the wind out here can definitely offset some of the hot temperatures that, of course, Arizona gets. And it's very interesting because, you know, not only was it a situation where Arike Ogunbowale came away with the MVP after dropping the 34, but also, this is the 3rd consecutive All-Star game where we have seen a single scoring record set. In 2022, it was Kelsey Plum in Chicago. She came away with MVP after scoring 30 points. In last year, when they had the game in Vegas, Jewel Lloyd of the Seattle Storm came away with MVP, and she ended up scoring 31 points. Now we have Arike, and the fact that she dropped 34, and if I remember correctly, Stewie actually dropped 31 of her own for Team USA. And also, another interesting thing is, for anybody that saw All-Star Friday night, Allisha Gray of the Atlanta Dream pretty much swept the night. She not only won the skills challenge, but she also managed to win the 3-point competition as well.
I was nervous because she went on a shooting streak's amazing. I mean, JJ's a great 3-point shooter. I even told her before, I was like, I'm familiar with your shooting game. Like, I know you're finna go out there and kill it. But when she got to that last one and the score was kind of close and she missed it, it was like, sigh of relief, because she's a great shooter.
So that was definitely a night for Allisha Gray, and she came up off of the bench for Team W. And what was very interesting was the fact that she ended up with 16 of her own. I mean, if it wasn't for Arike, you could make a good case to say that if it wasn't for Arike going off as only she could, you can make a really good case to say possibly that she may have very well come away with MVP. Wouldn't have that been something if she won the skills challenge, 3-point, and the MVP all in one weekend? That would have been something. But she had a great game. It was a great night. It was definitely, the vibes were definitely immaculate. Pitbull definitely rocked it at halftime. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely an overall just, you know, just great experience in more ways than one. And I know that a lot of folks are also going to certainly be looking at the box scores for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I had the opportunity to work media for WNBA All-Star, and I still was absolutely just so taken aback by the fact that there was absolutely just so much media that was surrounding Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese when they had, you know, their media availabilities on Friday. So that was, you know, so that was definitely something to witness. But yeah, overall a great time. I had the opportunity to kind of, you know, explore a little bit around Arizona. I mean, it's you know, it was definitely, you know, it was definitely a great time. The game was obviously great, and certainly one of the more memorable games. I mean, this was you know, the thing about it is that this was definitely a competitive all-star game. I mean, we don't necessarily see a lot of competitive all-star games either on the NBA side or on the WNBA side, but I feel like this was certainly the exception to that rule.
Every year, y'all want to be honest?
Yes.
We were more, our mindset is different when the Olympics is going on. So yes, I feel like the defense has to be there because the parties, all the extra stuff is like, it's not there because we have to focus on the thing. But when it's not Olympic year, I don't know the defense. Physically will be there, but
I mean, it's a grind.
I know.
We just came off 25 games.
It's a lot.
So like, especially as the schedule continues to grow, I feel like All-Star games, obviously not counting this one, get competitive in spurts. You know, when players are going 1v1 or whatever the case may be, or you're playing to a certain score, like the 4-pointers, and I think like having that makes it a little bit different and gives us a different vibe. So I don't know if that answers
what is that called? The Elam ending?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, if we did that, that could be a different game. I'm not trying to give Kathy no ideas, but girl, if we did that, that may be different. But with the format right now,
And, you know, even going back to All-Star Friday night, it turned out to be a great night for the Atlanta Dream, because not only did All-Star Friday night see All-Star Leash win both the skills challenge and the 3-point, but also you had Ryan Howard and what she was able to get accomplished in that 3-on-3 challenge that they had in between the skills challenge and the 3-point competition, because it was a rather competitive game. It looked like that maybe the U23s were going to maybe possibly pull an upset over the 3-on-3 team, but Ryan Howard ended up finishing with 12 points to lift Team USA to a I believe the final score was 19-16, lifting them to a victory as well. So definitely a lot of, you know, a lot of great vibes, a lot of great events. WNBA Live, they mentioned how large WNBA Live has become. The fact that now it's over 80,000 square feet, and they happen to have WNBA Live right here in the building, right next to me, right behind me where I'm currently at the Phoenix Convention Center. And they just had, you know, so many stands, so much was going on with WNBA Live, so many great events. Fans had the opportunity to buy merch, you know, interact with some of their favorite, you know, not only WNBA stars such as, such as Shakira Austin and Caitlin Clark, and I think Asia Wilson also had an event there. Paige Becker's still in the college ranks, obviously, but I think she was there. I think, doing, drills with some youngsters, but also some really talented WNBA media personalities had some events there as well. I mean, I think that there was a P&O event there with that featured Tarika Foster-Brasby and Christina Williams and Grady Diaz. So that was definitely great for those fans to be able to really get some insight from those who are really just standard bearers when it comes to WNBA media. So that was definitely great as well. But overall, it was certainly a great weekend. They didn't announce where the 2025 rendition of All-Star is going to be. I'm sort of hoping that maybe it's New York, but I imagine we'll probably see possibly in the coming months where they may put next year's rendition of All-Star. And regardless of wherever they do, I will definitely make my best efforts to try to get to wherever All-Star is. Because one thing that I love about the All-Star game is, we're once again getting another gust of some desert wind out here in Arizona. But one thing that I really love is the fact that when you think about it, there's a lot of WNBA media that may not necessarily be able to get to, some of these other events, whether it's All-Star, or not All-Star, but, maybe the finals because of the travel that is involved, especially if you have two teams that are playing in cities that happen to be really far apart from each other. I feel like it's a bit different when it comes to the draft and when it comes to All-Star, because at the very least, the draft is a standalone. And I was trying to possibly ask Kathy Engelbert about the possibility of, maybe them taking the draft on the road, because we've seen so many other leagues have success with taking the draft on the road. So that was definitely something that I was hoping to ask Kathy Engelbert, but didn't necessarily get a chance to do it this time, but maybe I'll be able to do it next time. So we'll see how that plays out. But that's one of the cool things about All-Star is, it really serves in a lot of ways as, somewhat of a WNBA media convention. And as someone like myself, who's really trying to be more of a social person and really trying to just, get more out of my shell and just be more confident socially, I love events like this where I have the opportunity to kind of, really interact with my peers and also just, learn from them and, getting to interact with them and just, learning from them, picking their brains and, kind of using their tips as far as how I can, further and be a better journalist and a better person in my career. So, so I really, just love those opportunities and also, share some of my ideas as well. So, another great event, another great All-Star event, great game, great vibes. Definitely Phoenix did their big one, and we'll see who they pass the baton to. We'll see who they pass the baton to for 2025 rather. So until next time, I'll once again probably be back at my place in Colombia, as I think real life is about to hit a lot of us like a tidal wave. So we was able to forget about it for a few days, but ultimately, of course, all of us, especially those of us who don't necessarily live here, of course, getting back to, daily life, for sure. So until next time, I'm just, one guy on the streets of Phoenix enjoying these Valley vibes. Until next time, this is Keem signing off. See you on the internet someplace.